This is my original shock absorber mount, very close to the chassis rails. It's just a generic radiused weld tab. The high angle on the shock led it to bind up in here. At the top end of travel, the shock absorber hits the rocker. So I've drawn up a new mount in Fusion 360. No idea what I'm doing, but I'll send that away to get cut out. Well, these have come out quite nice. This is why we clean it. Gross. Can never keep my magnets clean. This blue-grey coating is mill scale. It's a type of iron oxide. Just make sure you remove it with some sort of abrasive. I've had a couple of spacers made, the same as the shock. I've welded this first piece in. I've just bolted the second one loosely with these spacers. The spacers and bolts will keep this all secure. This one isn't even welded on yet, and it's already secure. But they'll also be movable, so I can use the different suspension mounting points. The spacers are 1 mil wider than the bottom of the shock, so I've got a slight little bit of wiggle room to be able to fit the shock in. This gives a much better angle on the shock absorber. How much better does that look? The angle that these shocks sit at will actually change the suspension ratio. I'm not clever enough to be able to work out the optimal angle for this shock. That's why I put multiple mounting bolts, so I can use trial and error. Giving me loads more clearance down here now. So so the shock won't bind when it's at the top of its travel. You thought that was going to fall over, didn't you? Huh? I swear these are one of the most dangerous things in the workshop. These stupid wires fling off. I already had one fly off going to the circuit board and wreck one of my welders. Wear your goggles. Wear your goggles. See? Look at that. About a quarter of a mile that way is the sea. Everything here rusts overnight. Okay, so if you can tell, we're upside down. So you can see it's going to be a totally flat floor, full length of the car. It will tail upwards to the back because of aerodynamically science, maths, something to do with pressure, area. There'll be less volume to the floor here and it'll get bigger, so it should science stuff out the back and then all the stuff, and it'll give me down, up force, uply down, I don't know. It looks cool. I must have bought 4 or 5 different types of brackets to attach the floor. Found these from Hauer Racing, I think it is. They have a radiusly type thing, I don't know. But it means they can be welded to the tube and still be flat. Can go onto a tube and weld on like that and be flat. Yeah, that makes sense. This light from Toolstation has been pretty good. Bright light, LED bright light, ooh, look at that. It's been really useful, it's about 30 quid. I wish I'd bought this a long time ago. So I am taking suspension and aerodynamics fairly seriously. I don't actually understand them. I'm having a good go at it. And weight. I'm trying to keep weight as low as possible. So I don't want to be wasting any of that pushing air out the way, or by pushing a big heavy turd of a car along. I am doing my best to make the most of the power that I've got. Son of a... I bought this directly from Jeff Bezos. Okay, so I wasn't really planning on making videos of showing progress of me, what I'm doing with the car. I find they're fairly difficult to make interesting, but if this video does well, I will do a few more updates in the future. So to line these things up, I've put a piece of inch box between the chassis legs. They're both raised up on cutting disc because they are of a uniform size. So I can put the tab up against here, it will keep it flat, and I can tack it in place and they'll be flat all the way along. Okay, so that's worked quite nicely. And they've stayed nicely flat. 28 more to go. I'll put extra on the leading edge here at the front because that's where air's going to try and get under the most. I've added a couple of little gussets here on the suspension mount as well. Not sure what these are made of, but they're welded really nicely. Often you buy brackets and they just don't want to weld for whatever reason. Always come up as if they're dirty. Maybe I just don't clean them properly. Probably going to do steel for the whole cockpit underbody. Aluminium or aluminum under the engine and under. It goes right under the rear axle, right to the back of the car. I'm pretty happy how this has come out, the suspension bob. I'm tempted to put another bar from here to here, just for support, although the load is going this way, so I probably need to support it from here, maybe from here down to the steering support. Might be better, but we'll see. But certainly better than it was.